welcome to Talking Soccer, Talking Football. My name is Ezra Tshisa. We're live. I'm in Zimbabwe. I think I've got my friends, the people who are so passionate about football all over the world. We've got someone in North America. We've got someone in Birmingham, UK. I think my co-presenter Brian is there. Greetings, Brian. Umalume Tam futhi ngiyambona la uyangena laphana. Greetings, guys. Twists and turns, Brian. Greetings. I can see your eyes are red. You've been crying.
Ezra, I suggest you log off and come back home because we can't hear you.
I can hear you.
Tom can hear me. I know.
Yeah, I don't want to expect now. There you go.
Yeah, your eyes are red, my man. I can tell your eyes are red. You've been crying. Southampton has got no chill. Yeah, give us the results before we start the show.
Okay, so now we're into, I don't even know where we are now anymore. Match day 17 of 38. Everton 0, West Ham 1. Manchester United 2, Aston Villa 1. Tottenham 3, Leeds United 0. Crystal Palace 2, Sheffield United 0. Brighton 3, Wolverhampton Wanderers 3. West Bromwich Albion 0, Arsenal 4. Newcastle United 1, Leicester City 2. Chelsea 1, Manchester City 3. Southampton 1 and Liverpool 0. This is match day 17 of 38. Long way to go.
Tom.
Yes.
Malumi, Nakama results.
Beautiful week.
Pick of the games. Which one do you start with?
I think we need Chelsea, yeah. Chelsea, Manchester City. That's a game you've got to look at.
We have to look at that game. You're right. I agree with you. Chelsea were outplayed. And for me, what actually killed them is that they didn't look committed. Manchester City boys just moved the ball very quick. That's what killed Chelsea, because the ball was being moved very fast, and they were just lost. They just couldn't control them. So they were outplayed in my books.
Do you think Lampard? What do you think? Lampard has got a future at Chelsea, or do you think it's gonna be?
For me, Tshisa, Brian, I'm a guy who is an advocate of giving a coach his card. A time, because I believe with a club such as Chelsea is a big club, they can afford to give him time to rebuild. They have the financial muscle. Now his team has got lots of young players. You gotta find a good balance between young players and senior players to play well. So you know what? He lost to City. Anyone can lose to City. So we cannot cry over that loss.
Yeah, I think now the problem.
Okay, someone losing 5 games almost in a row, right? And then he said it was a City. He has lost games to smaller teams, but no, Chelsea.
I think in the beginning, my initial thought was Frank needs to find a solid back four. He found a solid back four. He found his central defensive midfielder. Looked great. They went on a good run. I almost thought, okay, he can get away with rotating the front three at will and do as he pleases. But the truth is he needs a solid front three as well. And that's where the problems are now starting to come in. That front three is not firing at all. And they're probably need a goalkeeper coach.
But Brian, you're talking of someone who has spent 300 million. Frank Lampard has spent 300 million bringing new players. Surely, can that be forgiven? Spending 300 million?
It can't be forgiven. I mean, that's why it's a simple thing. The formula is very simple nowadays in football. If you spend a lot of money, success has to come very quickly. And success for Frank Lampard this year is a trophy. It has to be an FA Cup or the league. I don't think they'll win the Champions League.
I know people are good time saying that a young coach needs to be given time. But knowing the owner of Chelsea, Abramovich, now living in Israel, and this is somebody who has fired over 15 coaches since he took over the club. You think he will tolerate this? Because if you look at the previous coach, he was fired after losing only 2 games.
This is what I'm saying, that I think with Chelsea at the moment, they have to go back to winning ways. If you spend money, that's exactly what happens. you spend money, you have to get instant success. And it'll get to a point where if they lose the next 4 games, for example, I think he's a goner. He's
I
got
don't
to
think
win the
it
next
is
game
before.
against Fulham. If he doesn't win against Fulham, he is a goner
It's gone.
almost.
Mm, mm.
We could get away
How-
with it. He could get away with it last year, where we could say, "Oh, he was using the young kids or whatever. He did well to get top 4." Yeah, fair enough. But then another point that we almost shouldn't gloss over is the fact that last year he had a lot of kids from the academy who have always looked at him as, the pillar of Chelsea to a degree. So they were playing for him. They played for the shirt. They played for everything. But now you have very seasoned professionals who will question you if you do something wrong, and they don't see him as just Mr. Chelsea. They see him as their manager, just like any other manager, and they will question him when things go wrong. So maybe that's what we're starting to see now, where a few players are now starting to question things. A few players are obviously unhappy. One or two things. Timo Werner, why is he not playing up front? If he plays Timo Werner up front, what happens to Olivier Giroud? What happens to Tammy Abraham? Questions that he has to answer at some point.
Okay, Marume Korapo, you want to add on something before we move on?
No,
Marume?
Malume has disappeared.
It's disappeared.
No, guys, I'll be back. Just hold on a second. I'll just complete something here.
Okay.
But I'm listening.
Okay, so what I'm saying, Brian, so this game Fulham will be a decider for Lampard. Definitely a decider. If he loses that game, he's gone.
I know.
Even
if
if
he loses Fulham, I think the chances of him going are at least 85%. They might give him that extra few percent to see him off to the next game, which will after Fulham. But if he loses Fulham, I don't see him. I don't see him going any further.
the public in car always coming with the noise every time. That what uhamba njani mthawa yakho umsindo kangaka?
Ngihlala nabantu angithi.
Okay. Sivula amavolo, utshela umzukulu ayikhatshana. Okay, so right, we saw Chelsea are on a slide. This league, this Premiership this year, guys, it's no longer the previous Premiership years, whereby when a team leads, the log is gone, like what Manchester City and Liverpool did last time. This time is fluctuating, but Liverpool still in there, remaining in there. Yes, before I come to other games, let's wait for Tom, because Tom wants to say something about Liverpool. Let me shove Liverpool a bit and then come to the Gunners. The Gunners are back, guys. We can't run away from it. The Gunners are back.
The problem you're not talking about Arteta.
No, I just say the Gunners are back because Arteta is not a player, he's a manager. So I'm talking of the club, which he managed.
Yeah, but you guys, last week you guys were screaming he must be fired.
Of course. Any coach who's failing should be fired. Any coach who's failing should be fired.
Not given time.
No, there's no. These days, there's no time given to anybody. You got to deliver.
Hey.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But then, how do teams progress? Because sometimes those managers do need time to instill their style of play, and even time for the players that they to have their own players that suit the formation that they want to play. Unless you come in by a whole squad, you're always going to have a problem circling in, unless if you come in with the same philosophy and then find a team that is ready-made for you.
Do you think the youngster Uro actually changed everything at Arsenal? This is the player they needed as a number 10. This is why things are changing. And the good fortunes for Arsenal now, the youngster is delivering. If you look at Arteta decided to remove all the older guys and put on the youngsters who are playing very well. Very, very well.
Wow. It's all good. Yes, he's performed well. But let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. I'm English youngsters mostly, I would say. They've got this tendency of when they signed by a big team, they perform, and then they've got this thing, I've achieved, I've got there, and all of a sudden, form dips. We've got the likes of Dele Ali, Oros Barkley. They came up and now they're down. Or Mason Mount. What is Mason Mount doing now? My supporters, they don't even want to see him now. We've had to Gilmore. While we are shining a game against Liverpool, he's warming the bench. So I think it's learning whether it's an English nature players thing. Once they get to be signed by big teams, or Jones, Manu, they were hyped up to the point where everybody was like, what, this guy is the next Rio Ferdinand. But they've all gone by the wayside. So let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. Let's see what he can do, because big stars are rated by their consistency. If he's consistent and he continues to progress, then we can say he's good.
Okay, let's quickly read the messages. Trevor Long, Zima, Opera Nyonisanan is Porori, Hasutu Chubana, Posopu, Insights, Ekona, Muselo. Chess players have COVID. The stop speedy. I don't know about that. Hi guys, the right go to Osbang Banda. Thank you. Hi guys, Yagomucha, Gili Long, Tabani Pofula, Wege, Sabanga Kulu. Namta is telling it in Liverpool fans. Yasen on wood Leo. Mufregi Pendulum. The paper chase is too big for Lampard. Simple. Snipes page, every friend Pendulum, Ungawari, we're still at the top. Arsenal, Tanding and the Gunners are back. Yeah. So,
Guys,
in terms of Arsenal, do you think? I want to know what exactly changed at Arsenal. The good fortune when they started beating all these big teams, started to shout Chelsea, Bobby were winning all these games. What changed, Brian? What changed? Is it an introduction of Raw?
I think bringing the young kids has been great for Arsenal. I think again, let's also not get too carried away. You played a very poor Chelsea team who are on the decline. You've played West Bromwich Albion, and then you've played Brighton, who are all sorts. So let's not get too carried away. There's still teams that are better than those three teams that are still yet to come. Those youngsters might struggle against bigger teams. So it's worth also taking stock of that. But in any case, I think it's a good time to string a few results together and keep it nice and tense. And the young kids have been, magnificent for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Long may it continue.
Ashima wrote a change of personnel. I don't know. Is it change of personnel, changing players? Did the formation change? From the look of things, is Arsenal formation which they used in 2020 still the same, or he changed Arteta?
I can agree with the change of personnel because
for me, it's a change of attitude as well, and for a change of formation because they are playing to what Arteta has been saying, playing with purpose, playing with agency. And Tshisa, you have been one of the biggest critics, that's Xhaka. But if you see the way he has played the past few games, he has been playing differently. Usually, Xhaka is a player that plays balls sideways or to the back. He is frustrating to watch sometimes, but the past few games, he's been playing with purpose, going forward. So I think they're playing strictly to the coach's instructions. Yes, we were lacking the little bit of that energy from a player like Smith Rowe, but Osaka has been a magnificent. And the other young lad on the left back, I can't remember his name, has been amazing. So I think they're playing to the coach's demands now. Strictly to the coach's instructions. Yes, we were lacking the little bit of
energy. Yeah. Do you want someone to add on something there?
But you know, when you say it's the coach's instructions, I want to believe that the previous players that were playing were still playing to the same instructions. I want to believe that it's the young players who are hungry, who are wanting to show this guy. Maybe they do have this attacking flair that was lacking. Yes, when you make reference to Smith Rowe. But like I said, you know, let's not get too carried away. These were quite poor teams that they've played, and you know, let's just, you know, December, the festive period is quite a difficult time, but you know, let's not get too far ahead of ourselves.
You are saying all these teams like the Chelsea are poor, they are poor teams.
Chelsea is playing poor, yes. Brighton are either getting to be draw specialists or they lose games. West Brom, Landleas, you know, if they don't have 10 men behind the ball, they're not attacking at all. You know, they just sit back, just like they did with Liverpool, and in Liverpool failed to break that wall.
Okay, you get us into Ty before we come to Brian. Ty, just quick one before we move on.
Okay, yeah. I can't say much. I can't get carried away.
Yes, yeah.
I can't get carried away by Arteta. He has to convince me that he has turned the corner around, because he has got a lot of problems there. And going forward, is he the right guy to take the team to the next level?
Absolutely.
Can you trust him with a budget of 200 million to turn things around? To buy the
Why not?
players? No, absolutely not. Because first of all, Arteta is a rookie, and the guy that is working with him next to him, Edu, is a rookie as well. So you find that there's a lot of favoritism that is going on at Arsenal.
Right.
This week, there's the rumors that are coming out that he was confronted by one of the
I know Marume gets irritated.
Yeah, we have to tell the truth, because we can't say things.
I know Marume gets irritated.
We can't tell the truth.
No, I get. You know why I get irritated is because umtha bona bathi truth. Umtha yena will speak for truth. We are looking speaking for results.
Right. I think we've said enough about Arsenal. I know Marume wants to say something.
I can say later. You want me? Okay. Yeah, I know. I mean, for me, I think he is turning the corner now. We have to acknowledge the fact that he is also missing quite some senior players. Remember, Gabriel was on a red card. He was not there. Upate was not there in the midfield. So the young players that he has with joined together, with the senior players, playing what Arteta is doing, we're going to see a completely different side. For me, I see a bright future Arsenal under Arteta. So it's my opinion, and I will be here again till the end of the year to come back and say I told you so.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Okay. So okay. I think we've done with Arsenal, guys. We saw a shocking result between Liverpool and Southampton. What went wrong at Liverpool? They're complaining about VAR every day now.
Why is it shocking? Why would you call it shocking?
No, because we expect Liverpool to win against Southampton. Simple.
Why? Southampton has been on the rise. Honestly, South African are Southampton are a very dangerous team.
They're a good side.
Because Liverpool has been winning and is expected to beat a team like Southampton. You told me that these are easy team, they're easy fixtures. So I'm telling you that Liverpool on paper, even the bookies, Liverpool is expected to win. Just like you expected to beat Crystal Palace at home, and you know.
The game Southampton against Liverpool had if Southampton had the quality of players that Liverpool had, they would have scored more goals in the first half. And let us be honest. First half, Southampton was all over them. Counter-attacks, Liverpool could not defend them properly. So, and quality was the difference. So Southampton played very well. So let's not take that away from them.
I think the problem with Liverpool, they are losing they've lost defenders, key defenders, like in the central area, Van Dijk and what's the other name? The center back who's partnering him.
Matip.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you see that defense was a makeshift. It was Henderson and the other midfielder. What is his name? Brazilian Fabinho.
Yes.
So that the defense is weak. I think they need to strengthen the defense this window before the title slips out of their hand, because that defense will cost them the title. Because you know what, defense wins you the title, and then the attack wins you games. So they have to sort that defense ASAP.
Yeah, Brian tried to run away because he wanted us to discuss Liverpool when he's not there. Unfortunately, we're still discussing Liverpool. He was crying. Look at his eyes. He's been crying. Brian, what went wrong last night? What went wrong last night?
Front three. That's it. Front three are just not performing how you'd expect them to perform. They're a bit off all sorts at the moment. One can't tell you why. I can't say it's fatigue because they look like they're running a lot. And the other thing is that the time of the balls coming in from our fullbacks have been limited for the past few games, and that hasn't helped at all. So I think though
how many crosses did those guys put into the Southampton box the other day? There's a lot of crosses going into that box.
There's a lot of crosses, but there was got one shot on target. That's Liverpool for you.
There was no point of those crosses because most of them found nobody. Most of them found nobody. Only 2-3 of them found somebody, but everyone they found somebody, they were well defended. Most of those crosses were going nowhere. They were just going into the sky.
No, for Liverpool, I understand. You can't go for 3 seasons back to back, being on top of the game. Remember the last 2 seasons, Liverpool have been good, but this season they lost the defenders and their midfield yesterday as well. It was Oxlade-Chamberlain. He hasn't played for how long? He's coming from injury. Thiago is coming from injury, and then those midfielders that are always they shoot them to the back. So it was very hard for them. So. But I think they'll bounce back. The team that
do you remember
Man United?
Do you remember we had this conversation where we discussed winning the league and then the next season strengthening so that you maintain? And Liverpool this year, who did they buy this year?
Oh no, come on.
And I remember, I don't know whether it was Brian that said they don't need to buy.
No, on paper they didn't need to buy anything. Because if you really think about it,
remember
we've had 3 centre backs.
The policy Liverpool operates on. Liverpool is not. They don't have a sugar daddy like Ezra always call them. They don't have money.
And yes, well, you're out here coming in spouting.
You have to live within your means.
My friend. They don't have money. Come on.
No, Liverpool doesn't have money.
Keep up Pelama finances. Let's see the accounts then.
No,
since you know them very well, let's have a look.
You can't just argue, just blindfolded. Liverpool, everyone knows they live within their means.
No. That's incorrect for you to say.
Because Liverpool, the money that they spent, they were selling players.
I don't want to problem.
They were selling
you want to
players.
just look at it as in people need to splash money. No,
there's
a plan. There's a plan by FSG. FSG has a plan at Liverpool. One of the plans was that they don't buy players of a certain age. Generally, Liverpool plan was that they don't buy players over the age of 25. That was the first basis of it all. That's how they got in a lot of all the younger guys, and that's how, if you look at the Liverpool transfer policy,
we can't.
A lot of young players are being bought.
Listen here, Brian.
What is the reason for that?
You can't run away that you lost to Southampton.
No. I'm not saying that losing, we lost. Again, we spoke about this. We are talking about 5 losses in 3 seasons, and everyone wants to go up in arms. 5 losses in 3 seasons, and you guys want to sit here and be the ones to say, "Oh, yeah, do this, do that." Come on, behave yourself.
Whatever you say, a loss. A loss is a loss.
I think
a loss is a loss.
I think
this one here is talking about you need to buy. Then this one saying there's no money. No, there's a transfer policy at Liverpool that X amount is not spent. X amount is not spent, X age is needed. That's the transfer policy that's at Liverpool. That's why
Yes.
now they're struggling to pen down
The reason for that because there's
Genie.
nothing. You can't spend something that you don't have.
No, even right now they're struggling to pen down a contract with Genie purely because of the transfer policy that says Genie is 29 years old. They
How old-
can't give him a 3-year
how old-
contract. They can only have a 2-year
How old is Salah?
That's where the problem is.
No, there are many older players. That's why I'm still using Milner. They're still using the Henderson.
No, there's a difference between buying. The only older player that Liverpool has bought over the past few seasons that has been of an age group that everyone raised eyebrows was Thiago, 29 years old.
It's old.
Thiago. Everyone else has been under 25 before. And obviously Salah came in, 3-4 years ago. Come on, you guys need to behave. Really need to behave. 5 losses.
I think the point that Ezra was trying to make.
What was Ezra's
I think
point?
the point that Ezra was trying to make was that you've had prior to the Southampton loss, you've had 2 games where you drew with what we would call poor opposition.
Yes.
So this result was coming.
Oh, behave yourself, mate. Come on. Football. Behave yourself. If you watch football,
the same West Brom that you drew with was annihilated by Leeds 5-0.
Don't even go away.
Listen up.
What
Bromwich Albion did was sit back, 11 men behind
Fulham.
The reason why you guys can go and the reason why Arsenal and Manchester City and Manchester United can go and win those games.
You actually robbed the Fulham.
Tshisa, let me make this point and now keep quiet. The reason why Manchester United, Arsenal can go and win those games is because those teams come out and play against you. They come and actually play football against you. They want to attack you.
Right.
They don't attack Liverpool. They just sit back. Manchester City, West Bromwich Albion, exactly the same thing. Sit back because they respect those teams. It's not my fault that they don't respect your teams and they go out and play football against your teams. It's not my fault. It just shows how the standard that Liverpool and Manchester City.
Brian, you need to behave. Brian, behave yourself.
Brian.
I'm listening.
Fulham. Brian, that game against Fulham, you should have lost. VAR robbed Fulham. And now you've been crying about it. Your coach is making noise about VAR.
Why are we like this? Why? We didn't lose that game.
You lost. Listen here. Anyway, let me quickly read the message. Ashley Maro says, in time, mind you won by against Brighton. Hello, lovely people. That's Meshuli. Solomon Madala Mkuni. Arsenal has remembered how to win. Hopefully, we keep the momentum. Yes, Mhlonichwa will keep that. Southampton are very close. Liverpool needs to buy defenders. We can't keep on using midfielder on defense. There is no trust anymore from our backline. Look at Trent, 38 times losing possession. That shows you a lot. He is good going forward, but he's not a good defender.
Trent is a good player. That person, Trent is a good player.
One thing that we've underlooked a lot.
West Brom will pack the pass. West Brom is thought they had a chance to win against Liverpool. I agree. No pride. Although Brian always.
It's a tactic. It's a tactic, and there's an opposition. You have to find a way to get past that pass. Simples. So if you get beaten by that tactic, so be it.
Let's come to Manchester United. We know. Yes, Ty.
We are 20 liters. We are 20 liters.
I think last point better. I think a quick last point is that we need to. The truth is, Fabinho not playing in central midfield has killed us. That's the honest truth. Fabinho disturbs the play a lot and releases the ball quickly, and that's what really has hurt Liverpool quite a lot.
And also Brian on that point.
With Liverpool defend.
And also Brian on that point. You see, when they shifted to Henderson to the back, he's not affecting games enough because when he's playing that role, Gumit, he's affecting the play so much. They don't understand his play, but he's so effective, that guy. But man said him for move, who center back, he's not affecting any game.
No, it's a fair point. But then at the same time, I understand what Klopp was trying to do. It's a big game with very good quality people going forward. So he wanted someone with experience. And one thing we don't have at the bench.
I wonder what the Liverpool, they don't have any players from their reserve, like centre backs. They should take players from the reserve side who play centre back.
No, we got Neco Williams.
Matoja, why are you complaining about Liverpool? Just because they lost one game, you're complaining so much?
5 games. We've lost 5 games in 3 seasons.
No, we're not complaining.
They're crying.
Guys, that was a game.
League, behave yourself. Who's top of the league right now?
Liverpool. Liverpool is a good side. It's a good side that just lost a game, 1-0 game. One mistake and the ball went in, and Southampton played well to defend that league. Number one. Number two, Liverpool did not have defense. You know what Anderson is the guy who cleans up the midfield. He cleans up everything, but yesterday he was playing defense. So there was a missing link there as well, midfield. We cannot Liverpool is a good side.
But at the same time, we are anchoring our sentiments. That was the thing that we were saying before. We're not complaining, we're just highlighting how they lost the game. So we are repeating what we say.
Because you guys don't even know what it's like to be on top. So please, just sit down and behave yourselves.
Brian, what's your problem?
They were on top by abbreviation at the beginning of the season. So they know how to.
Every year Arsenal is on top before the games are played.
You can troll Arsenal, but remains the people's favorite team in the world. So in terms of Liverpool, now I believe that they might not win the league. They can't defend this. Although at the beginning, people say Liverpool defend the league. I think they'll struggle to defend it, to be honest. Manchester City is getting on form, serious form. And the Manchester United as well, guys. You can't rule them out. Manchester United are back. So Manchester United are there. They are on level of points with Liverpool. So
Address them properly. They are going to
very evident.
One thing that's been evident this year is that whatever that means, they are called joint leaders.
I think one thing that's been evident this year is that teams go through spells. Chelsea are going through that spell where you lose 3-4 games, all of a sudden you're at the bottom. Manchester United went through that spell. Arsenal went through that spell.
Spurs went through that spell.
Tottenham Hotspurs went through that where they won 3-4 games on the trot, lost 2-3 games on the trot. There's spells that are happening here. But let's
this season is exciting. You agree with me that this season is exciting. So we can't conclude and say Liverpool are winning this.
Oh, come on, we're winning it, man. It's just a case of when.
But my question is when have it's only once, maybe I don't know how long since our seasons have been obvious. All teams go through spells every season. Every season.
No, the past 2 seasons.
I said to you guys, it's a good thing that Arteta is losing games in the first half of the season, because I know that's what happens most of the times. I'm a team that go through that.
No, Arteta Malume was.
No, I'm not trying to go back to us now. By the way, I'm not trying to go back to us now. I'm just talking about the spell. So let's not go back there.
Yeah, he was king in thin ice. You can't say you may lose. You lost so many games that you almost lost his job.
I go like
that. So guys, in Manchester United there, I think we've spoken about Liverpool. Is United a team to beat now? Do you think Manchester United will beat Liverpool next game and then they run away with it?
In terms of running away with it, we at United we're calm.
We're calm.
we're calm about this situation. We know we have to be consistent. We are improving. We are working on our improvement. I was very, very pleased that Bai has come back. Although he's a very risky defender, I do like him a lot. But once we have our secure baseline, and I think it suits us to play Bai there because it's pacey. What we were having before were issues where we've got Lindelof who hasn't got the pace, and also Maguire who hasn't got the pace. But with Bai there, if he remains fit, there's potential that some of these teams that were running behind us will be able to defend against them. In terms of the midfield, we sort of like have good backup for our midfield players. Even Pogba is starting to show some good glimpses, even though maybe he's trying to sell himself off, by performing well. But here we go, he's performing for United, so we like that. We like that. So we just carry on like we are. We still have the problem of a striking option where we need a striker in the box. All these players that we've got, apart from Cavani, most of these players tend to play coming from the wing and going inwards. So once we find that formula where we've got a focal point, we probably might perform a lot better and we can win games.
But you don't realize that's Solskjaer's formation. That's how they play. So you can't say you want just an 18 area player, yet Solskjaer has got his own type of play.
He's got to play like that because of the players that he's got.
Yeah, but there's Cavani now.
Cavani is 34, man. He can't perform week in, week out. And I prefer Cavani coming in as an impact substitute, rather than playing 90 minutes. There's some players who perform better when they come in as an impact substitute rather than as a starter.
Ty, do you think Manchester United are a threat to the league?
They are, because you know what they did. Like, they know how to address their problems, like the problem areas. The strike force, what they did, buying that old Cavani for paying him 200 and something thousand a week is good, but I think the wheels will come off as well, because I know them, the wheels will come off. It's only a pity that the other teams are not performing as well. The Liverpool are going through a spell, and so they'll be caught anyway. I'm not scared we're seeing them at the front.
Guys, is it not embarrassing to have a team like Manchester United, which has been given 20 penalties just in this 2020-21 season? 20 penalties in all competition.
There's nothing embarrassing about that. There's nothing embarrassing about that. Before this weekend, I believe Leicester had more penalties than Man United this season. And also, you don't get a penalty just by playing outside the box. You have to attack teams. For you to be able to concede a penalty, you would have been under pressure to concede a penalty. And we don't make the rules. We don't make the rules. Listen, we don't make the rules. The rules are made by somebody else who is independent of Man United. So, that's got
I think Ezra,
was it a penalty?
There was contact.
There was no.
There was contact.
Okay,
No,
can I ask you
no,
something then? Can I ask you something? Why wasn't Sadio Mane's one given yesterday? And why didn't VAR review the Sadio Mane incident against Newcastle when clearly the keeper had his arms around Sadio Mane? So why?
Well, I think that can't be put down to Man United. That's something that's totally different. That's to do with the refereeing situation and the poor refereeing.
So you want your own point by saying poor refereeing. Poor refereeing is in your favor.
You can't defend that.
Everybody has had opportunities where they got away with poor officiating. Arsenal is one of them. The players that could have got red cards and they didn't. So it balances out somewhere somehow.
Listen here, Ty. When I'm Ty, Manchester United, Pogba tripped himself, and despite
No,
of
no.
he
He
did.
tripped himself because the other player touched his leg and then he tripped himself.
So why
Football is
was
a
not
contact
your
sport.
money given yesterday when the other player touched him?
Entire football is a contact
I
sport.
cannot answer for that official. You know,
Yeah, but why is it all the decisions go in favor of Manchester United? All the decisions.
yeah. There's been so many decisions that have gone against us. You know, don't
Never.
make this a conspiracy. You know, there's no conspiracy there. We
Tell
attack
us
teams,
one.
we get
Tell us one
penalties.
decision that went
Simple.
against you. Tell us one decision that you can remember on top of your head that went against you.
There's so many. There's so
Why?
many. There's so many. There's so many.
Ezra, as I was talking about Manchester United, I forgot to mention that their signings, they made two crucial signings this season. Cavani, the old Cavani, and the VAR. With those two signings, they might get this league.
That sounds like so great.
It levels out because you guys have a very poor coach, and that's not going to change. Your luck might still be going, but what's not going to change is that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is a very poor coach. And right now, let's be honest, the person that's knitting everything together for Manchester United, hate it or love it, is Bruno Fernandes. If Bruno Fernandes were to break his leg tomorrow morning, God forbid, I don't wish that on any professional football player, it's over.
But Brian, that's not a fair statement to say. Brian, that's not a fair comment to say. Every team has that kind of a player.
Very fair comment.
I'll tell you why. Every team has that kind of a player that, you know, with this guy, Kamuga, you are in trouble with that in the squad. You're in trouble. So the fact that Bruno Fernandes
tell me right now, Chelsea, Manchester City, Liverpool, which player would you look at and say the whole team all the wheels will fall off? Now as we speak.
So are you saying Bruno Fernandes, if he breaks his leg, the whole team will fall off? No, they'll have problems.
They'll fall apart. They will fall apart, my friend. He has been given a free roll at Manchester United to play any way he wants at any given time, and that affords him time on the football. This is why they've been playing very well. There's no one else that can make the passes he does, run with the football the way he does. There's nobody else in that team that can do it. Pogba is even playing well now because of the space that is created by players chasing and running after Bruno Fernandes.
But that is what the coach wants him to do. Why can't you not accept what that's what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is doing? That's the coach's instruction. Bruno Fernandes is doing what they want.
No. Anyone can accept.
He wants to qualify his statement that Ole Gunnar is a poor coach when he's been winning so many games and he's joined top of the league as Ty said. So you know.
No. It's, you know, Brian, the reason why I refuse that statement is you can even look at a team like Barcelona where they have Lionel Messi, which a team has always rallied around him. So if Bruno Fernandes is that guy at Manchester United, what's wrong with that?
Yeah, Barcelona manje, we're now even seeing the true nature of Barcelona. Xavi, Hernandez, and Andres Iniesta and Sergio Busquets made that team tick.
Yeah,
that's what made them tick. All Messi had to do was stand up front there and get 50 goals a season. Now he can't even barely get 25.
I'm sorry, Tshisa, I didn't mean to divert us to Spanish league, but I was just trying to make a comparison to show the importance of Bruno Fernandes and the tactic that the coach has employed there.
I'm saying Bruno Fernandes is a good player, and as such, as he's a good player, he's very crucial for Manchester United. My push is that he's overly too crucial for Manchester United. Without him in the side, even one game where he didn't start a few games ago, they struggled till he came on. They struggled.
Yeah, we actually agree. The only place where we are probably not agreeing is the fact that it is all credit to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer for identifying that player and giving him that role and letting him play the way he plays. Simple.
We know the transfer situation at Manchester United. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is not the one that buys players. This has been the issue of contention since Ferguson left, that the coach is not buying the players. He gets them bought for.
Woodward.
So he didn't buy anybody. They gave him a player.
Okay.
Then
Oksala is a Man United player, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is finding a way to use him.
But you know that on that point.
I was trying to get Tottenham more space, guys. Is it
okay? All right.
Go on.
Okay.
Were you answered though, Tshisa? Were you answered on your question, sorry? Were you answered on your question regarding Man United?
No,
papers too.
So they told you on paper. So in terms of winning the title is out.
The manager that is buying his players now,
the is still
I think it's only you can club only. The others now, they're all coaches now.
No, in regards to Tottenham, they're what we call a team of dark arts. They know the dark arts very well, and they're learning them very well from the dark arts master. And I think it will be telling, the next 5 games will be telling for Tottenham. If they win the next 5 games, be very frightful of what Tottenham can become after that. I think once he nails down what he's looking for, one thing that's very strong about Jose, we know his defense is very strong. But this Tottenham one has issues, and it's been problematic for the past 3-4 years, where their centre-backs have been leaking goals for fun. But he's slowly fixing that. And I think once he fixes that, we might have a very troublesome team there, because Bergwijn is missing chances for fun as well. Let's not forget that. Bergwijn, Kane, and Son, when they break on the counter, they're frightening. They're quick. Even the game against Liverpool, Tottenham, when they came to Anfield, Bergwijn actually missed a sitter. You know, they're frightening quick when they start going. And when you give it to Son, you misplace a pass to Son or Harry Kane, come on, you know it's going in the back of the net.
But my question with Spurs is...
So Tottenham is still in with a shout, yeah?
I think they're still thereabouts, yeah.
Yeah, I think, no, it's Spurs. You know what Spurs...
So why are you ruling out Manchester United? Right?
It's Spurs, they wanted to go for top 4 only, so that they can qualify for the Champions League. But this season, you know, they built that stadium, aiming that they will have some events there and get some money and pay off the stadium. Now, this season, if this season ends without the supporters, with the losses that they will occur, I don't think they can manage to hold on to Harry Kane and them all good players. So we are looking at the beginning of the fall of Spurs now.
Oh, come on, Mta. You know I got mad love for you, bro. You know that. But in terms of our finances, just stay away from that one. Finances at Tottenham. Tottenham finances are one of the tightest in this whole league. Those guys, they've got tight finances. What Daniel Levy does there is... Oh, my goodness. They are solid in terms of money. I'm telling you, in terms of money, those guys are solid for at least another 3 to 5 years. They won't.
I'm telling
you, I agree with Brian. I understood Tottenham when I went to watch that documentary. When watch that documentary, you'll understand how tight Tottenham is.
But watch at the end of this season, Tottenham will be in trouble.
They're not selling. Let me tell you something, and that stadium was a joint venture with NFL, right? Because you know that at the bottom, that grass opens up and an American football pitch comes up. Right?
But
it was a joint venture with the NFL. NFL pumped a lot of money into the stadium as well.
There's no income that is coming.
There's no income that is coming, but
there's no Anthony Joshua fighting.
Yeah, but then one thing you've got to understand is
that are coming.
You've got to understand the money that is behind that team. You're talking about NFL money, which is billions every week, never mind a year. Right?
But it doesn't matter. Everyone is in trouble now. Even Spurs.
I some finances.
No,
Tottenham are fine for the next.
Spurs will sell everything.
Tottenham,
Kane will
3 to
stay for
5
another
years
season.
minimum. They're fine. They will not have any financial worry. And no
Harry Kane, some dollar. Harry Kane.
Levy is a money man. He knows money.
Who will they sign?
Yeah,
They won't sign anybody.
The thing is,
They might not sign anybody or whatever. They don't need to. That's the thing.
listen, what you forget about the Spurs, Ty, the Levy doesn't sign a superstar for Tottenham. They buy
Yeah, Levy doesn't sign because he doesn't have money. You know.
Why? It's not
Levy
about
doesn't own the
money.
Spurs.
Teams
Spurs
have
don't need
policies.
team.
Come on, bro. You're better than this. Come on.
Try. I'm trying to tell you how Daniel Levy, how clever. What Brian is saying. Daniel, look at how much they bought to what's called it, Upel. How much they sold Upel. Look at all the players who come to Tottenham. How much they are sold when they leave Tottenham. It's a lot of money. If you don't Liverpool, but you know Peter Crouch, they paid a lot of money. That's how Daniel Levy operates. He buys the player cheap and then he sells it.
Yeah, but for how long will that sustain the club? That's the question.
It's sustainable.
That depends. That depends on quite a few factors. Ty. It can depend on the academy, the effectiveness of their academy. It can depend on the money they raise when they've sold those players, whether they can buy replacements. You know how Mourinho operates anyway. Wherever he gets money to buy, he can find players, ready-made players who can come into replacing a player.
Mourinho, for him to succeed,
so guys, it looks like this season
there's no money there.
Things will be changing, interchanging.
You think Mourinho is naive enough to go into Tottenham? Everyone knows Tottenham's situation.
Mourinho didn't have
no money being spent. So when he went to Tottenham, I'm sure he sat down and could leave.
He's been to Man United, he's been to Chelsea how many times? He can't go to Liverpool there.
It's after money. Mourinho goes where he knows that he's gonna make money.
But at this moment in time,
go for Mourinho.
But this is what I'm saying. Do you think he's naive enough to walk into Tottenham, knowing that obviously walked into Tottenham and they told him, bro, this is our strategy. So, and he's going to go with that strategy. If he doesn't want Daniel Levy will sack him. Daniel Levy has never been scared to sack a manager. That's one thing for sure. He's paid.
As long as in 5 meter ingena ku Mourinho kuphela ngala ndaba lokuthi ungapi.
You because you won't win anything.
Yeah. No, Mourinho time. Let me tell you one thing about Mourinho. Mourinho doesn't care even if you sack him. That guy is there to make money. He's a mercenary.
Yes.
So guys, if fixture coming out, we see Leicester is back. We see Leicester, they're winning again. I'm a fixtures now who are coming. A lot of people are talking about Manchester United Liverpool game. When is it exact?
I think they've got a Burnley game to worry about. They can't worry about us. Let them worry about Burnley first. Those are the teams they need to start worrying about.
I think it's
the fixture between Man United and Liverpool is in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. A lot of people are saying that will show where Manchester United are.
No. Why are we getting carried away? These people have a match against Burnley. Can you worry about that match, please? Well, let's not get carried away. Worry about the match.
Why we sense the yellow pride? It's because they always wish us to do badly. So they know potentially if Burnley might lose against us. So they know the next possibly stop is Liverpool. So you know what? Bring it on. Bring it on. Bring Burnley. Bring Burnley. We whether we lose against Burnley or win against Burnley, then ilanga liyeza kuphela Liverpool.
Maybe somewhere else.
Okay.
Just get your goal something and walk away.
Yes. I'm here. Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me, guys?
Mm-hmm.
Tshisa, what's your question, Tshisa? Brian Wengizo.
Tshisa, I don't know. Network got Tshisa.
Two times I couldn't use final words here.
Oh yeah.
No, I think the season is exciting, guys. Brian, let's worry about Ipendi. first for Manchester United before the Liverpool. You're right, but I'm gonna put my $20 on you, Brian. Ukuthi Liverpool will lose against Manchester United in 2 weeks.
20 kuphela. Ah, iwangafaki 40.
All right, I'm fucking $40.
20. Even if 40
bucks.
but double up anyway.
I'm doubling it. $40 in 2 weeks' time. Liverpool is going to lose against Manchester United.
So Manchester United are going to be the first team to win at Anfield for the past 3 years.
Yes.
Manchester United will win.
I think so.
Okay. I'm not a Manchester United fan. I'm just analyzing one of them.
Jonas Konapo asizwe nabantu bathi.
I'm concentrating on Burnley. I won't comment on Liverpool until later.
You guys have won against Burnley anyway. So you're coming to Anfield, you're top of the league, everything is nice. Tell us, Game Town.
Like I said, at United, we are calm. We're focusing on the next game first. Anything else that comes on, we're calm about that. We're calm. Let's just deal with Burnley first. We'll talk about Liverpool when the thing comes up.
Brian, what's the next game? What are you playing next game? Liverpool.
Come on, Ta.
Come on, guys.
Guys, you know what? There's something I wanted to ask you. I think teams like Wolves, Aston Villa, we've sort of like ignored them, but also those teams are having an impact on the league as well. As you rightly said, the league is quite interesting. It's quite exciting. But look at the performance of teams like Aston Villa. They're coming up with some big results and challenging some teams really. Look at how Wolves beat Tottenham the other week. Just coming from this sort of like starting slowly and then growing into the game and bang and beating teams. But I know Man United beat Wolves though, and Aston Villa.
I'm sorry, Tshisa. I just want to say something quick here, Wolves. I think Wolves is a well-coached team which keeps losing players every time in come transfer window. How much players they've lost, but they still play well. I think that coach needs to go to a club that has got money behind. He's going to do well. That's my final word. No more for me.
I won't focus on Manchester United and Liverpool. To me, I'm just focusing on researching of the Arsenal. How far can we go? And this January transfer window, how many faces can we push out of the team? We've got a lot of dead wood that we need to get rid of before we focus on who's coming in.
Manje konapo ikoleza limala konapo and getting rid of that dead wood. Because let me tell you one thing. Europa season, it really hurts teams. If you've got a very small squad.
What a hell by Musa Sissoko. Tottenham versus Brentford League Cup, 1-0 Tottenham.
Okay. When I tell you, you forget that Manchester is in the Europa Cup. What do you think is in the Champions League? Manchester United is in the Europa Cup.
Like I said, at United, we're not looking to get rid of anyone. But like Tai was saying, is looking to get rid of dead wood. And the danger with that is you'll end up in a situation potentially like what Liverpool is going through now, where they've got injuries to their most dependent players.
But remember, Arsenal. Remember,
you either get knocked out of the next round, or you'll be history in this league.
Arsenal have got a lot of players that they are not registered. They are still there. Ozil is not registered because we've got so many players. Also, Kratis, they are not registered. They need to get playing somewhere else.
Okay. Guys, I'd like to thank you so much. Ngasnev Peche, Tandega Ngobe, Siabonga Kodbati Tai, who would want to see going and we want to see coming at Arsenal. Anyway, I think Tai has mentioned the names of players we should call. Marume Tam Siabonga Kodbati.
Thank you, guys.
All right, thank you, Chebe Siabonga Kodbati.
Sure.
Tai, thank you very much. Brian.
Yeah, welcome, bro.
We shall see you next week. Siabonga Kodbati.
Sharp.
Siabonga Kodbati. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, this has been talking football, talking soccer with yours truly, as a Tshisa Banda, with all Brian and all others. Thank you so much. Our time is almost up. We shall see you next weekend. Not next weekend, next week, Tuesday, same time, right here on Talking Soccer, Talking Football. We love to bring out the results from South Africa. Thai used to do that, but it's less these days. Thank you, people. God bless you, and you take care of yourselves and each other. Bye bye.